Good morning, guys. What I'd like to talk with you about today is the overhead supports. There's three things that we're working with when we're trying to look at the overhead support. We're trying to look at safety, reliability, and aesthetics. When we're putting up our FMCs and box gutter canopies, the first part, obviously, the safety, we're putting things up 60 feet up in the air, and we want to make sure that people underneath are safe. The second part is the reliability, which is now we want to have a good perpendicular mounting surface to our wall. The final part is aesthetics, where our customer and the architect is looking for a certain look. Currently, the way that we're using our overhead supports is we have one threaded bar, and then we put a clevis on both sides. What this allows us to do is it allows us to have approximately 1 foot worth of adjustment. In our smaller canopies and FMCs, there's no problem with that. But when you start getting to the larger assemblies, the ones that have approximately 10 feet worth of reach, we now have a larger need to have that kind of accumulated tolerance. One of the things we found is that the install manager, when he goes out to do his field verification, he's relying upon trying to find the wood blocking in the walls. And sometimes that varies when it comes down to not only is he high up in the air trying to find the location, but also when the actual contractor puts in the wood blocking, it may not be in the right place. So what we've come up with is we've come up with an idea of trying to add a turnbuckle. Oh, I'm sorry, you in the back, you can't see this very well? Let me give you a bigger demonstration. What we've come up with is the turnbuckle assembly. The turnbuckle assembly now will go between the clevis on both sides and the threaded rod. And what this actually allows us to do is it allows us to have an extra approximately 1 foot worth of adjustability. The asset to this is that, as you guys know, when you're out in the field, if the bar is too long, you're able to cut it down. Unfortunately, sometimes you may cut away the thread, and then you'll have to thread the bar more. The worst part scenario is that when you're out in the field and you find out it's too short, there's nothing you can do. You got to come back into the shop and get a new part manufactured. What that does is that's not only the loss of time for you guys out in the field, but also in the shop has to remanufacture, so we have labor and material costs that add to the job. So what this very small cost of the turnbuckle assembly now will do is allow us the flexibility that in the field, that if we do have that little bit of a variance, this should be able to compensate for it. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a way to make a cost-effective change that will be able to make it so that we can increase productivity out in the field, save value to the customer, and be able to make it so that the overall product doesn't vary from one point to another. Again, I think when we look at the chance of having the error, it may not be high, but I think that what we do is we find that this is a very important way of saving cost and saving value. So I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you very much.